Oh my god, Joss Whedon, you are a fucking genius. Multiple nerd-gasms. The Avengers Age of Ultron. The Avengers Age of Ultron was again written and directed by Joss Whedon. Huge fan of that guy. Huge fan of that guy. The movie stars a lot of people. We have Robert Downey Jr., Mark Ruffalo, Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth, Scarlett Johansson, Jeremy Renner, Samuel L. Jackson, and we have a couple newcomers. Paul Bettany, we knew him as Jarvis. Now we have him as the Vision. Elizabeth Olsen stars as Scarlet Witch. Aaron Taylor-Johnson plays Quicksilver. And James Spader plays the voice of Ultron. Now this movie takes place after the events of Captain America the Winter Soldier. The Avengers, they are now this amazing team. They are this well-oiled machine that just works perfectly. After their latest mission, Tony Stark comes up with this idea to create an artificial intelligence in order to build a suit of armor around the entire world. However, that experiment backfires big time as this artificial intelligence called Ultron becomes self-aware and extremely psychotic and destructive. I can tell you from the get-go, this movie blew me away. Guys, you thought the first Avengers was amazing? This movie surprised me on so many levels. The movie opens up, the very first shot is all sorts of kick-ass. It is so cool to see all those characters working so well together. Remember that ending fight that we had in the last Avenger? Yeah, a similar fight kicks off this movie. So yeah, let's talk about the cast a little bit. Robert Downey Jr., I say that a lot. Yeah, he is Tony Stark. He's absolutely terrific. What's really interesting is, even though the Avengers are now this unit, because of Ultron, there are new frictions within the team. Namely, between Captain America and Robert Downey Jr. They have a lot of great confrontational dialogue. And you can really tell that they do have conflicting ideologies. And sometimes good intentions aren't good enough and can actually cause damnation. Tony Stark is still obsessed with his work like he was in the last one. The events of the first Avengers and his third adventure still haunt him, so he really is obsessed with protecting the world, but doesn't see the potential damage he's doing to the world. Captain America, on the other hand, is very suspicious of everything because he witnessed S.H.I.E.L.D. being infiltrated by Hydra. Thor is now the solidified protector of the Earth, and I love him in this film. That having been said, this is neither Iron Man's movie, nor Captain America's movie, or Thor's movie. No, this movie really focuses on the people that have not had their standalone movie yet. And that is something I absolutely loved about this film. Black Widow, played tremendously by Scarlett Johansson, is a really amazing fleshed out character. Yes, she also gets hotter with every movie, but in this movie she is so relevant. And especially her relationship with Mark Ruffalo's Hulk is absolutely fantastic. The Hulk is now more or less able to control his powers. But he's still holding back because he's the one Avenger that doesn't view himself as a hero. Jeremy Renner as Hawkeye has never been better. This is his movie. He has one of the coolest lines in the entire fucking film. Paul Bettany, we used to know him as Jarvis, and now in this movie we see him for the first time in The Flash as Vision. He is also absolutely fantastic. His costume design, by the way, oh my god, they really did a terrific job with that one. And now let's get to the newcomers. Aaron Taylor-Johnson and Elizabeth Olsen play the twins, Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. Aaron Taylor-Johnson, he is a really slick guy. He doesn't talk much. He's super fast. However, I gotta say the cinematography they used in Days of Future Past, yeah, that was better. Scarlet Witch, oh my god, Scarlet Witch was so amazing. You can really tell that Joss Whedon put a lot of love in the character of Scarlet Witch. She kicked ass, she was an emotional character, and her power was so cool because she can mess with your fucking mind. And that is another thing that I loved. Exposing the fears of the individual Avengers showed the audience new layers to these characters. James Spader as Ultron, he is absolutely amazing. He is by far the biggest threat we've ever had in any of these movies. Loki is still my favorite villain, but Loki himself never posed a big threat. Ultron is just fucking unstoppable. And he's also crazy in a way. He actually has a couple humorous moments. I love when villains also have a funny side to themselves. The general tone of this movie is a bit darker. The stakes in general are higher. This movie shows the impact of the Avengers on a global scale. Samuel L. Jackson, he's not in the movie as much, but when he is, he's as awesome as always. Another big plus to this movie is the fact that the supporting cast really shines. There are so many people from all the other movies that you get the feeling that these movies are even more converged than they were before. This time they actually come to play and they throw down as well. So much more is happening in this movie. There are so many terrific action scenes. And again, there is no shitty shaky cam. The action is very well filmed and the cinematography is also insanely good. It's really hard for me to pick one favorite action scene out of this film. Even though this movie is darker than the first one, it's not a complete culture shock. There is still a lot of amazing sarcastic dialogue scenes. The climax of the movie is absolutely epic and fantastic. If you're a comic book fan, you will probably fall in love with this movie because it is so nerdy but in the most awesome way possible. The ending of this movie also gives us a little hint on what's to come, and that is something that is so cool. It feels like next level shit. So yeah, all in all, I gotta say that this movie is a nerd's dream come true. It has a great plot, a terrific, magnificent cast, great dialogue, kick-ass action sequences, a grittiness that the first Avengers didn't have, a more in-depth study of these characters, and a finale that takes this franchise and brings it to the next level, which is something that I thought they couldn't even pull off, but they did it, and they did it with aces. So Avengers Age of Ultron definitely gets the gold medal. What really bums me out, however, is the fact that this is Joss Whedon's last Avengers movie. Yeah, he's not returning for Infinity War Part 1 and 2. Which is a sad thing because I imagine that these movies will feature an even bigger cast, and I don't think that anyone can pull it off in such a unique way as he does. Thank you guys as always for watching, and if you like what you see here and you want to see more, then just subscribe.